Hello guys, it's Bailey from Ramen News again, and today's a short video about a verse that I think is pretty scary to me, and it's Revelations 12:3-4. Before I start, give me criticism about how I can improve on these videos and shorts, but that's if you want, so let's get started. So if anybody doesn't know what this verse is, I'll read it to you, but it's always good to do research yourself, because you don't know the person announcing the verses and scriptures could be telling the truth or not, or they just simply make errors. So it's just in case. So definitely look this up yourselves. Um, and to also throw in that you could you should always look at the context as well. Like look at more than one verse. I'm only going to talk about two verses, but of course look at the verses around it. But for now, I'm only going to talk about these two verses. So yeah, okay, I'm about to read them right now. Revelation 12:3-4. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on its heads. His tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman who was about to give birth, so that when she bore her child, he might devour it. If you don't understand this verse, it's explain how the dragon, Lucifer, basically the first Satan, has managed to take 1/3 of the angels with him as he was being kicked out of heaven. How and why did those angels get kicked out too? The reason is Lucifer managed to convince them to join his side and rebel against God. And because those angels were on Lucifer's side, they got kicked out of heaven as well. And why I find this terrifying is, what on earth did Lucifer say to convince 1/3 of the pure angels to turn their backs against God and even try to fight against him? That's crazy impressive that you're able to do that, to somehow get beings that are meant to serve and only serve God and most likely lay their lives for him as well, and make them forget their purpose and do the complete opposite. This basically reminds us of this verse that speaks about the power of the tongue. James 3:5-6. So also the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great things. How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire. The tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staying the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. This reminds us that the tongue holds great power with potential manipulation, mental, and emotional damage. I would like to assume that angels weren't instantly convinced that, oh, I guess this means that our creator is actually an evil scumbag. Yeah, I'll follow you, Lucifer. It probably took some time to brainwash those angels. And I don't know if some angels had different personalities compared to other angels, and so mean that some angels were convinced faster than others, but it's crazy impressive that it was done. Also, I'm aware that most likely that the angels that were convinced to betray God were likely convinced by other angels that were deceived first by Lucifer himself, and he didn't do all of that work by himself, but he still caused that rebellion to spark in the first place. I do question how Lucifer became evil in the first place if he was made perfect by God. Seemed to mean that he was perfect in every aspect from top to bottom. I'm going to read this verse right here, Ezekiel 28:11-15. It's about to talk about Lucifer. Okay, I'm about to read the verse. Son of man, take up a limitation for the king of Tyre, and say to him, thus says the Lord God, you were sealed of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering. If you see this video called out, that means I'm on Google Translate. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce the words right here. So yeah, if it cuts out, that's why. All right, the sardius, topaz, and diamond, beryl, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald with gold. The workmanship of your timbrels and pipes was prepared for you on the day you were created. You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of the fiery stones. You were perfect in all your ways from the day you were created till iniquity was found in you. I'm aware this is all free will coming in place, but again, if he was made perfect, where did that urge to sin come from? Isaiah 14:12-15. It's another verse. How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. how you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken the nations. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. If y'all can help me with this question, that would be great. But it's okay if you don't know yourself. I know God doesn't make mistakes, and He is holy, and that whatever decision He makes has a plan to it, and it is perfect. So I can't say that He gave Lucifer too much euphoria and drip so that it gave him a big head, or that God added that temptation to Lucifer in the first place to give him the big head. So I don't know anything. I'm not saying God did that stuff. All I know is that angels also have the knowledge of good and evil like God, unlike Adam and Eve, who didn't know knowledge of good and evil. But again, if those angels, if they're aware of good and evil, then they'll know that evil is bad and that they should avoid it, especially if they're made perfect. Again, I'm probably going too deep into this, or the answer is in front of my face like I just read and I'm still not like getting it. So apologies if I do sound a bit foolish. I try to think of this as a question that probably doesn't need to be answered, or at least not at the moment. Some stuff we'll never understand or be satisfied, even if it's in our face. Or maybe it's just simply for our own good, because it could also cook our brain trying to understand the answer given to us. This answer could be beyond our limitations, like our mental limitations, if that makes sense. I hope this doesn't sound like some type of excuse, because I'm being honest. I really don't know, and right now I'll just have to accept that. I won't leave my faith in God behind just because of an unanswered question that doesn't exactly make a big impact in Christianity. But that's pretty much it for this one. I just kind of want to explain this verse kind of scares me a bit, because it's like, whoa, he managed to like convince a lot of angels to rebel against God, their own creator. So like, yeah. And this is also a good warning for anybody, no matter how wise or loyal you are. You can be transformed into a matter of minutes, hours, days. So you be careful, y'all. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful what you look at. Watch all that. And I also got to be careful as well. But thank you for watching. Like if you like this video. And prayerfully, I'll see y'all next week. Goodbye, beautiful people.